I'm trying to be a good boyfriend. So recently my girl took me to a street fair, right? You guys been to those things? You know, they close off the block. There's like shawarma. There's stuff made out of buttons. You know, people with no teeth are making keychains. It's like a typical girlfriend idea. It sucks, and it's going to take all Saturday, right? Yeah, she's like all excited, like swinging my arm. This is gonna be great. I'm like praying for lightning, you know? That was brutal. So we came up to this first table we come up to. There's this big table and nothing but homemade jewelry, right? Homemade jewelry. There's like twigs, there's like macaroni, right? It was junk. It was like a table of junk, but she loves it. She's like, do you like these earrings? Do you think these are nice? I just want to be like, no. If they were nice, they'd be in a store, all right? There'd be a roof, some sort of structure would be built around this. The guy selling it would be wearing shoes. You know, it's junk, right? But I'm trying not to be a jerk, so I'm like, no, you know what? It's really nice. I'm going to go get some air. You know, we're outside. I think there's more air to be had.
I don't want another heartbreak. I don't need another turn to cry. No, I don't want to learn the hard way. Baby, hello. Oh, no, goodbye. But you got me like a rocket, shooting straight across the sky. It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's impossible. This kiss, unstoppable. This kiss. Cinderella said to Snow White, how does love get so off course? Oh, all I wanted was a white knight with a good heart, soft touch, fast horse. Ride me off into the sunset, baby, I'm forever yours. It's the way you love.
It's 7:08 at WRJN Radio. I'm Don Rosen. Thanks for joining us here. We're going to have a chance of snow showers today. I know that's hard to believe just because you put the snow shovel away and all the salt, and it's not going to be anything like that. Just a snow shower, which means there's no accumulation involved at all. Temperatures falling to around 30 this afternoon. Chance of more snow showers tonight. Lows around 20. And tomorrow, sunny with a high near 35. Partly sunny with a high near 50 on Sunday. And I think I heard 55 on Monday, so... Currently, it's sunny and 38 degrees. Get a clear sky out there this morning. We've got some tickets to give away this morning. In just a short time from now, the Gabriel Iglesias coming to the Wisconsin State Fair on Thursday, August 1st. Tickets go on sale this morning at 10 a.m., but you can win tickets in a short time from now. Coming up tonight, we got the Bucks at Minnesota. Will take on the Timberwolves 6:30 p.m. And tomorrow, the Brewers start their reign on WRJN when they'll take on the Padres 2 p.m. from Arizona, right here on WRJN Radio, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. Good morning. It's time for Odd But True. Are you ready for these facts? This happened in Super Bowl 2000. There were 14 .com companies that advertised during the Super Bowl that year. Only 4 are still around. Auto Trader, Last Minute Travel, Monster, and WebMD. All the rest out of business. MySpace. Remember MySpace? Before they had Facebook, they had MySpace. Everybody was on that. They had the opportunity to buy Facebook for $75 million back in 2005. They passed on it. Here we are. Years later, Facebook is now worth $850 billion. Think the person who made that decision is kicking themselves right now? Probably. All right, there are 14 U.S. states that are split into 2 time zones. The only one I remember, I thought Indiana I knew was split into 2 time zones. That was the only one I thought of, but there were 14 of them. Alaska, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Nebraska, Nevada, North Dakota, South Dakota, Oregon, Tennessee, and Texas. I didn't know that. All those have multiple time zones in them. The 90s had plenty of one-hit wonders. But as far as I can tell, Sean Colvin was the only one-hit wonder of the 90s and maybe the only one-hit wonder ever whose one hit dominated the Grammys the year that song was out. The song made it to number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, went on to win 2 major song awards at the Grammys, Record of the Year and Song of the Year, the biggest you can get. Yeah, Sean Colvin. I remember that. A principal in Palm Coast, Florida named Jeff Reeves, going viral. He wrote 459 personalized notes, one for every graduating senior at his high school. He left them on their seats before they got their diploma. That's nice. That's nice. I hear a lot of teachers and principals take it very personal with their students, and that's good that he did that. You know, Adele bought Sylvester Stallone's house for $58 million. And when she bought the house, it came with something no other house has, a poolside Rocky statue. Said it's a nice house. It's in a gated community where Denzel Washington, Magic Johnson, and Justin Bieber live. Well, that's a nice neighborhood. I wouldn't mind living there. Odd but true, no century can ever start on a Sunday, Wednesday, or Friday. There's a long mathematical explanation for why, but basically because of how the calendar repeats itself during new centuries. They have to start on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Saturdays. Odd, but true. Now you know what I'm going to do? What you do. I'm going to go back and take a look. See the centuries started on which days. But yeah, they say it's true. According to a study, every time a coworker comes up and distracts you, you immediately become 20% dumber. And you stay that way as long as you're distracted. The average office worker gets only 11 minutes of work between interruptions, and it takes almost a half hour to fully focus once again, so you become dumber when you're interrupted. Here's what rock stars already know. According to a study, one of the best ways to pick up women is carry a guitar. Researchers sent a guy to a public place to get women's phone numbers, and when he carried the guitar case, he was successful 31% of the time. When he had nothing, he was only successful 14% of the time. See, don't you wish you can go back now and restart? And learn how to play the guitar? You don't have to play it, just have to carry it. You wish you can go back now and do it all over again, huh? From our archives, in New Mexico, an employee sued Intel where he worked because his coworkers put a kick me sign on his back and actually kicked him. And when he went to his boss to complain, the boss kicked him too. No word if he won that lawsuit or not. Could you imagine that? There was a There was a discussion on the website Reddit.com about the most ridiculous office rules people had encountered. There were just a few of them. No moving the furniture. It violates union rules even to slide your desk over. No cell phones or even anything that looks like a cell phone in your pocket. No popcorn. And no saying bless you when somebody sneezes because it's too religious. Wow. When I was at a radio station in Atlanta, there was a Girl Scout troop coming through the radio station. We gave a lot of tours because we had radio, a TV station there, newspapers, billboard company. Everything was in one building. And so we had a lot of troops coming through for tours. And we had tour guides who were full-time employees. That's all they did was set up tours of the building. So when I'm coming down the hall, and the tour guide was rather short. She couldn't reach the speaker outside one of the radio studios. So I reached up for her, and I turned up the volume. Later that day, I was called into the manager's office, and there was a grievance against me because it was a union radio station, and that's a job for the union people. And they put it, but I said she was reaching for it, and I said she couldn't reach it. I said, then you call an engineer, and he will do it. I got in trouble for that. I got marked on there. And some of the engineers really held it against me for a while. But after a while, this loving face of mine, you couldn't stay mad at it that long. So I became friends with all the engineers after that, except one. A guy named Kermit. He never liked me. Kermit Hamby. Just never liked me for some reason. Hard to understand, huh? How could somebody not like me? Anyway, Kermit didn't like me. I became friends with him on and off, but for the most part, he didn't want anything to do with me, which is fine. A marriage therapist says the secret to a more perfect union is practicing active responsibility. Now, if you see the dishes laying in the sink and they need to be washed, you wash them. Car needs a full tank of gas, you fill it up. That's active responsibility. People who wait for their partner to ask them to do the chore, that's called passive responsibility. They say it's one of the most frequent complaints they get from wives about their husbands. They don't do anything until they're asked. Fun fact, remember Vincent Price? He did the voice work for Michael Jackson's Thriller. Yeah. He agreed to do the voice work for that video if he was given a choice between taking a percentage of the album proceeds or being paid a flat $20,000. He took the $20,000. He should have taken the album proceeds because that album made a fortune, and he turned it down. All right, let's give away some tickets right now. This year at the Wisconsin State Fair, it's going to be a bit fluffy. Comedy superstar Gabriel Iglesias hits the main stage Thursday, August 1st. Get ready for a night of nonstop gut-busting laughter you won't want to miss. Now, tickets go on sale this morning at 10 o'clock, but you can win a free pair right now at 262-634-9756. 262-634-WRJN. 262-634-9756. Somebody said I say the phone number too fast. 262-634-9756. How's that? Give a call right now. I'll give you a pair of tickets to go see Gabriel Iglesias at the State Fair Thursday, August 9th. I'll say it one more time real slow because that's what you say it way too fast. 262, got that part? 634-9756. Phone lines are open. Give us a call right now. Give you a pair of tickets to go see Mr. Iglesias, Gabriel Iglesias at the State Fair. Very funny guy. We played some of his comedy cuts this week on the air. So give a call right now. Should be a lot of fun seeing that. I can't believe we're talking about August already, huh? I mean, we're talking about snow showers today, and now already we're talking about August. We will have more tickets to give away next week to the Racine Theater Guild. We've got tickets to give away to Now and Then, their new production. It starts tonight, opens up tonight, as a matter of fact. Hi, what's your first name?
Patty.
Patty. Hi, Patty. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Patty, you want me to make your day even better?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, you got a pair of tickets to see Gabriel Iglesias at the Wisconsin State Fair. Does that make your day a little better?
It makes it terrific.
All right, that's what we're looking for, Patty, just to make you happy. So what are you doing? You just wake up or you've been up for a while?
Oh, I've been up for about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's a long time, Patty. All right, hold on, Patty. We got tickets for you. And don't go anywhere. I got to get some info from you here. All right. So that wraps up our ticket giveaway for Gabriel Iglesias at the State Fair. I do hear a rumor we've got more State Fair tickets to give away next week to another show. We'll give you that information at the bottom of the hour. 7:18 at WRJN, Hometown Radio refreshed as Civic Media Station. Stay where you are.
Again, brothers, sisters, everybody sing. Gonna bring the flame, I'll show you how. Got a question for you, better answer now. Yeah. Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now. Everybody, yeah. Rock your body, yeah. Everybody, rock your
722 at WRJN Radio. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Got a chance of snow showers today. Temperatures falling to around 30. Chance of snow showers tonight. Lows around 20. Sunny, gorgeous. Highs near 35 tomorrow. I like it as long as the sun's out. Partly sunny with a high near 50 on Sunday. Yeah. We're going to talk movies coming up in a few minutes with Bret Hoffmann of Marcus Theaters and Sports with Mike Clemens at 7:50 this morning, right here at WRJM. You know, these are pretty common sense, I should say. The most unbreakable rules of parking lot etiquette. Don't park in a handicapped spot. I can't tell you. I check this all the time when I go into a business and somebody's parked there. If you don't have the placard or that DIS on your plate, you shouldn't be parking there. Well, yeah, but my foot was hurting me today. I don't care about your foot. If you don't have the placard or you don't have the DIS on your plate, you don't park there. Because people who do have the placard need to park there. Don't block the flow of traffic waiting for a spot. You know, you always see that there's a car parked there and there's like 12 cars in back because he's waiting for that one spot. And, of course, that person is taking a year and a day to put their packages in the car. Don't take up multiple spaces. If you park poorly, try again. And don't tailgate people as they walk through the parking lot. You know, if parking spaces are at a premium, you do that. You get on somebody's butt and you just follow them to find out where they park their car. Then they really screw you over. They walk through the lot at an angle and you can't get to them in time. But you should know all this stuff, though. This is common sense stuff. Hey, you want to get a Don Rosen action figure? All right. You can get a custom action figure that looks just like you. Hasbro partnered with a 3D printing company and plans to sell them for $60. They're doing it with characters from Star Wars, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, and Marvel movies. Why not radio figures? Want a Don Rosen action figure? He has trouble walking upstairs. He's too heavy. He doesn't sit well in cars because he's, too tall. So, yeah, get a Don Rosen action figure. That's what you want for your next holiday. What's the fastest you've ever landed a job and then lost it again? That includes being fired, quitting, or you just couldn't take it anymore. Someone polled over 1,000 people. 6% said they lasted at their job less than a day. Now, if you quit your job, I understand that. This wasn't what I signed on for. But if you got fired in one day, what did you do wrong in one day to get yourself fired? Must have been pretty bad. Okay. Hey, I've got some news for you here. WRJN is pleased to welcome CCM powerhouse Casting Crowns to the Wisconsin State Fair main stage coming up on Monday, August 5th. Join us for an evening filled with powerful and soul-stirring artistry that will lift your spirits. Also joining Casting Crowns on the main stage August 5th is fellow CCM star Turin Wells. Tickets go on sale at wistatefair.com. This will be... Is that this morning? Yeah, I guess it is this morning. They go on sale this morning and all next week. I've got your chance to win a pair of tickets next week right here at WRJN. So they go on sale this morning at 10 a.m. All right. Casting Crowns at the Wisconsin State Fair main stage. I guess we're giving away tickets to all the big acts there at the State Fair this year. So that will be on Monday. We'll start giving those tickets away for you, all right? That sounds like a lot of fun. Can't wait for the State Fair. I just love the State Fair. And when I hear snow showers in the forecast, thinking that the State Fair is coming up in a few months makes me feel better. I love doing that. The only time I had a bit of trouble was we had to push our parents around. My parents were in a wheelchair, and that was kind of busy. But my mother loved going on the Sky Ride at the State Fair. Even when she was 89 years old, she was on the Sky Ride at the State Fair. I got a picture of us both on there. And what they had to do was they had to slow it down a little bit to get her body on that chair. You know how it doesn't stop? Well, we got her on without stopping it, but to get her off, they had to stop it for a second just to get her off the thing. But she loved it. And the rest of the day got pushed around in the wheelchair. But she loved the State Fair, my mom. So we got tickets to give away to Casting Crowns next week right here at WRJN. Your chance to win tickets also to Now and Then at the Racine Theater Guild is next week. Got a couple of pair to give away to that, too, as well. So it should be a lot of fun. 726 WRJN. We're going to talk movies with Bret Hoffmann of Marcus Theaters coming up in just a few minutes here. All right? That should be a lot of fun, too. You can still can you still be micromanaged while working from home? A customer service rep in Texas complained online that her company was watching her through her webcam Notice she stepped away to grab some food, locked her computer up remotely, and told her, contact the supervisor. Isn't that one of the benefits to working from home? You can snack and do anything you want, watch a little TV. I think that's one of the benefits. There's a new list of dating trends out there. They include main character energy, where you focus on yourself. Heat doming. That's dating someone specifically for their household amenities. Basically just to mooch off their air conditioning, pool, or Wi-Fi. And eco-dumping, where you date someone who feels the same about the environment as you do. I am so glad I'm out of the dating pool. I would never survive in this world of dating. If you want a full sleeve of Oreos, no one's stopping you. But this could change your mind. A study found that instead of just calorie counting on labels, printing the amount of exercise you need to burn off might get people to eat less. For what it's worth, they polled people. Most are not in favor of it. If I had sold Oreos, I wouldn't want to get people to stop eating them. A full sleeve of Oreos. I used to eat those all the time. Yeah, I loved eating a full sleeve of Oreos when I was a little kid. Before I could tell time, I used to go down to the rec room and turn on the TV. This is when they had test patterns on. They weren't 24 hours like they are today. They had test patterns, and I couldn't tell time, so I started eating the Oreos waiting for the cartoons to start. Sometimes it took 25 minutes, but I finished that whole thing of Oreos. Yeah, of course, I was a little kid. It wasn't like yesterday I did it. 728 at WRJN, Hometown Radio refreshed, a civic media station. Don't forget the Bucks at Minnesota taking on the Timberwolves 6:30 tonight. The Brewers, yeah, spring training, exhibition season against the Padres Saturday 2 p.m. First game right here, WRJN Radio.
Think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. I think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you learn things you never knew, you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, or ask the grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the voices?
That's former Miss America Vanessa Williams, Colors of the Wind.
Can you paint with all
Bret Hoffmann, Marcus Theaters is here. I know he knows the answer. What movie is that from, Bret?
Okay, I believe, because I was working in theaters, this is from the animated Pocahontas.
Yes,
a while back.
very
Is that right?
good.
Yeah.
You win nothing. You can't win anything. All right, but yeah, that's from Pocahontas. You know what the secret to Disney films was? Good secret. Have hit songs. And we're talking going back to the first animated film they put out, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They actually had great songs in that picture. And, of course, The Lion King, A Little Mermaid, all their big Beauty and the Beast, all had hit songs come from those movies. And I think that was the secret to getting, adults into those theaters as well. Plus, the movies were fantastic. And somebody once said, why don't they make musicals anymore? And somebody said they do. Disney's making them all the time. And ironically enough, the animated films that Disney made, like Aladdin and so forth, all became Broadway musicals after they were in the theaters as animated films. And they became hits like Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, still doing well, too, Mary Poppins. So, yeah, that's a good song. It's from Pocahontas. It was a good movie. Pocahontas. You know where I saw that film? I remember every movie I've ever seen and what theaters I saw it at. The theaters aren't there anymore, but you used to own the Mark I and Mark II in Menominee Falls. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Yeah, they were they're theaters. They're not there anymore because you built this major complex not far from there. But they were tiny little theaters. They were the old red and blue screens. Remember that? Used to have the red and blue. Do you remember that thing?
Yeah, I don't remember that, but
yeah, they were red.
I know the theaters. Yeah.
Yeah, they were red and blue decor. They separated. They made twins out of them. One side was red, one side was blue, and they had the Mark I and II, and that's where I saw Pocahontas. I took my daughter to go see it there. But that's history. We have 3 new films opening up this weekend at theaters across America, including the Marcus Theaters. What do we have?
Yeah, and they're all great ones. They're all being reviewed well on Rotten Tomatoes, so this is time to get on out. Even if you haven't heard of those, let's talk about what they are. The first one is Drive Away Dolls. It's an R-rated action comedy. The topic is that these 2 girls, they're in search of a fresh start in their lives. They embark upon an unexpected road trip to Tallahassee, and they think that's going to be what they need to do to get away. And, of course, things go quickly awry when they cross paths with a group of criminals, and things just happen to go set on their way. So that's Drive Away Dolls. It's got 60+% on Rotten Tomatoes, so go check that one out.
That sounds like a Thelma and Louise type movie, no?
The type of thing, yeah. Except, I don't think they drive off a cliff at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But
and the title sounds like a Russ Meyer movie. He used to make these softcore movies, Russ Meyer. The title sounds like that anyway. It sounds like a movie he would make. All right, so what do we have next?
The next one is Ordinary Angels, and this stars Hilary Swank. It's a PG drama. It's inspired by an incredible true story. There was this hairdresser who single-handedly rallied around an entire community to help a widowed father save the life of his critically ill young daughter. As I mentioned, Hilary Swank is terrific in this one. It's got an 80% rating on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. It's got 100% so far from the audience. People are loving this. Very neat, feel-good movie. Go check this one out. You'll feel great leaving the theater. It's Ordinary Angels. It's rated PG, and it's a drama. So check that one out. Ordinary Angels. It's released by Lionsgate and stars Hilary Swank.
All right, and I can't wait till he pronounces the name of this next picture.
Okay. Well, the production company Crunchyroll is putting out a new, very popular anime attraction that happens to be a sequel in its popular Demon Slayer series. And this is called Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba to the Harisha Training. All right.
I love that.
So, basically, the production company Crunchyroll puts these out. This is one of the best-selling and most admired anime series that we have out there. So if you're not into anime, you might want to go check this one out because this is the type of picture that's an example of what anime is all about. If you do love anime, then you know exactly what's going on. You already know it's coming out, and go check it out at the theater. So
and
really some great things there.
And you can tell anime immediately because all the characters in every single anime film, every single one look alike. They got the big white eyes. They got the same hairstyle. They got the same face. They never change. They're just different names, and the voices change sometimes. But the anime actually looks exactly the same every time. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, this one is terrific. Again, another movie that's getting some great ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. When we look at Demon Slayer, 83% from the critics, 90+% from the audience on this one. So you have 3 pictures here, Drive Away Dolls, Ordinary Angels, and Demon Slayer. And all of them are great. It's a potpourri, a mix of different genres. But whatever you're in the mood for, there are some great things going on at the cinema this weekend. And a lot of other things we're bringing back as well for people to see. So there's a lot in cinemas this weekend that people can enjoy.
And you're bringing back movies like Gone with the Wind, which is coming back, I think, in April, right? And you've got Rear Window. You got a plethora of older films. When I was at the theater the other day, we were watching a film right across the hall. The others... theater was Casablanca, and I heard some of the dialogue as I was walking down the hall. I heard the final scene of the movie as I was coming through there. So it's good to see those films on the big screen again. Even though you've seen them a million times, it doesn't make a difference. When you see it on the big screen, it's all different. Now, for the people that I hear complaining online about the Academy Award nominees for Best Picture, they didn't show that movie. I've never seen that. No theaters are showing that. Well, stop your complaining, because now you can see them on the big screen. 9 of the 10 nominees for Best Picture of the Year are going to be playing at your theaters.
That's exactly right. We have kicked off our Best Picture Showcase. It is kicked off today, and we are running the Best Picture Series Showcase through March 10th. Catch up on everything before you watch the Academy Awards. And let me tell you, these 9 movies, they are great films. So you will find throughout the next 17 days, you'll find Oppenheimer, The Holdovers, Poor Things, Killers of the Flower Moon, Barbie, Anatomy of the Fall, The Zone of Interest, American Fiction, and Past Lives. You'll find them all at our theaters, specifically the Renaissance Cinema. And also, we're bringing back the Best Short Films, the live action set, and the Best Short Films, the animation nominees as well. So you can see those 9 nominees for Best Pictures. You can see the short live action, the short animated films. They're all playing throughout these next couple weeks leading up to March 10th at the Renaissance Cinema. Go check that out. And here's the thing that we've done. We have a couple different ways you can experience these. You can just go see them all. You can go see them one-off as one film at a time. We have a passport that you can purchase, which gets you 4 of the movies for $28. That's only $7 a piece. Maybe you want to catch up, but you only need to see 4 or so of the movies you haven't seen. Pick 4. That passport is only $28. Or we have some special things going on in Brookfield and South Shore. We have a festival going on March 2nd and March 9th, where we're going to show 5 different movies in a marathon format on the Saturday of March 2nd and the Saturday of March 9th. So there's all these different ways and you can experience these movies. And it's great, too, because I know a lot of people have told me, hey, you know, I've seen them all, but I haven't seen Anatomy of the Fall, or I just didn't get to see The Holdovers when it's out. But like you said, all those movies are up there. Go check them out. And let me tell you, it'll make your picks go a lot easier having seen those films and brushed up upon them before March 10th.
Right, and stop your complaining about the short subjects, too. You say, oh, nobody ever sees those. They don't show them in theaters. Now they do show them in theaters, so stop your complaining. I see that all online at these movie sites. People always complaining about the theaters don't show those. Yes, they do. You know how they used to show them when I was a kid? I have an ad for the movie Let It Be with the Beatles, and at the end of it, there was a short subject that was up for an Academy Award. They used to tag them on to the end of a movie so they can get them into theaters and qualify for the Academy Awards. So they do show them. Marcus is showing them. Now you can't complain anymore if you don't go see them. I hear the American Fiction movie is top drawer. I mean, I really want to see that. I hear that's a really good film. And you said Poor Things is also a powerhouse movie.
Yeah, you know, when I look at my pick right now, I think I'm giving the nod to Oppenheimer right now, but Poor Things is kind of one that has momentum and could very well be the dark horse this year. Oppenheimer is, of course, the favorite. It has the most nominations. But really check out all these films because they all in their own right are legitimate for Best Picture. And as you mentioned, American Fiction is a fantastic comedy drama. If no one got a chance to go see that, check that one out because it's a great drama, it's a great story, but also just the comedy in it is spectacular as well.
And I know Godzilla Minus One is nominated in one of the technical categories. I would love to see that win, only because I want to see the ad say, Academy Award winner, Godzilla Minus One. That's what I want to hear, that ad that says that. Academy Award winner, because I don't think there's ever been a Godzilla movie that won an Oscar. I'd love to see that just for that. You said Dune 2 is opening up next week, right?
That's exactly right. So we've got Dune Part 2 that is coming out next week, and this is a very special movie. Tickets are on sale now. I would recommend that anyone see it in one of our premium large format houses. Of course, we've got an ultra screen and a super screen down there at Renaissance, and there are other ways to see it up in the Milwaukee area as well. We've got it on our ScreenX, which is our screen where you'll see some of the sequences in 270 degrees projected not only on the front screen but on the side walls, and you can also see it in our new format, which is called Cinity at the Marcus Majestic Cinema, which has some of the brightest projection that you'll ever see around on that screen using dual laser projection. So there's a couple different ways to see it, but more importantly than the presentation, I mean, this one has a 98% certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. People cannot stop talking about this one. So if you did not watch Dune Part 1 from 2021, Go check that one out, but then go see Dune Part 2. The reviews of this are spectacular. The visuals of this are absolutely spectacular. It stars Timothée Chalamet, who everyone knows, who just recently starred in Wonka. It stars Zendaya, who is definitely very popular right now. So we'll see a mix of all ages coming in to see Dune, this spectacular sci-fi movie, and where else to see it but on the big screen.
Yeah,
it
of
should
course.
be a great ride. So I'd recommend anyone go check this one out. And it's a little bit longer movie. It's 2 hours and 46 minutes, but the reviews of it say it does not feel like that at all. You will get in here, as they always say, strap on your safety belt because you're going for a great ride with Dune Part 2, and check this one out because it's really a special movie, and we're happy to bring it to theaters on March 1st coming up.
You know, they used to, when you had a movie that was that long, even Killers of the Flower Moon, which was over 3 hours, used to have an intermission. They don't do those anymore. They did the intermission, by the way, with the 3 chapters of The Chosen. After the second one, they had a brief intermission so people can go, stretch a little bit. We'll just say that. And so they do, but they don't have those anymore in those big, multi-hour movies like they used to when I was a kid. You'd think they would, to get people out to go get the concessions, but I guess people leave in the middle of the movie to get those now. All right, and you said there was a website once to tell you, it was like p.com or something, it tells you where to leave in the movie?
There is an app. If you're interested in it, it's called Run P. So
Run
go
P.
check out the Run P app. Run P is where it is. It will tell you everywhere where they'll summarize the action during different times, set your watches, and go out. So if that's what you need, go check that app out.
All right. Hey, my friend, talk to you next week once again. And next week we'll take our picks for the Oscars, all right?
All right. Sounds very good. Have a great day, Don.
Thank you. Bret Hoffmann, Marcus Theaters, watching the big screens for us, letting us know what's out there. 749 WRJN, hometown radio refreshed, a civic media station. Chance of snow showers today. Temperatures falling to around 30, but have hope. By Sunday, 50 degrees. Monday, 55.
They paved paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. But it always seemed to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.
You're a rock and roll DJ, Mike Clemens. Why don't you tell me, do you know how this song got written by, I forget who wrote the song. What's her name? Starts with a J.
Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell. You know how she wrote this song? You know how she got the inspiration? She was in Hawaii, and she went to go look at the nice view out her hotel window of the Diamond Head and all the mountains in Hawaii. She looked at it, and all she saw was a parking lot full of cars at her hotel window, and she expected to be, knocked out by the view. And that's how she got the inspiration for that song.
Well, it came at such a great time because that was a period where people were like, hey, man, we're tearing down old buildings, we're tearing down woods and putting up cement left and right, but that's just the way the world was. She's I kind of got into her a couple of years ago, and she's just one of my favorites, and they've been bringing her back to concerts and Grammy Awards and stuff. So, how are you?
I'm fine. Well, I got a cold. Other than that, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'll stay. I won't breathe on you too hard. Okay,
All right.
So you're in Green Bay, but out in Arizona, beginning Saturday, the Brewers are the first time on WRJN Radio. They'll take on the Padres Saturday, 2 p.m. It's the first time the Brewers are on our station. This is it.
Now, wait a minute.
Were they on last
So the
year?
Brewers have never been on WRJN?
No.
The Braves were, though, right?
Yeah,
Back in the
right.
50s.
The Braves were on, right. This was the
Yeah.
home of the Brave.
Yeah.
But, the Brewers never one of our games we ever carried, every one of our teams. So the Brewers brand new to WRJN in 2024, and we're going to kick it off. Is this game out in Chandler, Arizona? Is that where they're still holding them?
No, in Maryvale.
Maryvale, Indiana.
Yeah.
Arizona, rather. So the Brewers, Padres, Saturday, 2 p.m. What do we know about the Brewers heading into the season? Now, this is the exhibition season. These games don't count, but tell us about what we should know.
Well, a warm, fuzzy story. Brandon Woodruff was one of their two main pitchers the last couple of years. Now, they traded Corbin Burns, I think, to save a little money. because and he's also, getting into his 30s. I don't know if he was always on the same page with the team. They traded him to Baltimore, got some young prospects. But Brandon Woodruff is a glue guy for the clubhouse. Everybody loves him. They've raved about him. And he injured his shoulder in training camp, in spring training last year, missed most of the season, came back. They were all excited. They thought they'd have him there just in time for the playoffs, and he still had problems with this shoulder injury. And he had a tearful press conference like, I can't pitch in these playoffs. I can't believe I came back this close. He kind of tweaked it when he was in Miami. So that's kind of the last that we heard from him. And then the Brewers did not tender him. They did not return his option over the winter. And that was really sad. It seemed like kind of a cold thing. Well, in the meantime, his agent got busy, and they got a lot of offers from other teams. And then the Woodruff told us in a Zoom call, at the last minute, all of a sudden the Brewers called back and said, hey, you want to come back? And they put a deal together with him. I think it was timed at the same time that Antanasio happened to be with the club and with their general manager and their manager, their new manager, Pat Murphy. And so now he's with the team. Signed the paperwork. He came in, took a physical. The surgery's going great. What will probably happen is he will be in the clubhouse this year as kind of a coach for all these young guys, a leader, and he'll probably be back next season. So he signed a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option. So that's a very happy story for the crew.
Now, you're out of Green Bay, and they have a new defensive coordinator out there back to the NFL, where he was in college football for a while.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur fired Joe Barry, did not bring him back for the final year of his contract. There were times, in his 2-3 years in Green Bay where they just kind of got blown out in some games. He was not making very good in-game adjustments. I think there was times where perhaps some players, perhaps like Rashawn Gary, their leading outside linebacker, were not seeing eye to eye with the game plan. And so they moved on. Joe picked up a job as a linebackers coach with the Dolphins. LaFleur told a very funny story yesterday. So Hafley, we got to meet him. He's a sharp guy. He's like LaFleur's age. He's married with 2 little girls, 8 and 5, and he's been coaching in Boston College, but he also coached in 2 or 3 different NFL teams. In 2 instances, one of the coaches on the staff was Mike LaFleur, Matt's brother. So Matt LaFleur had all this intelligence on this guy and how he is as a secondary coach. And that's what he'll be focused on is the defensive backs as the new defensive coordinator for the Packers. Here's a funny story, though. There's a quarterback named Sean Mannion. He played as a backup to the Rams when Jared Goff was there, and Matt LaFleur was an offensive coordinator there. And then for the Vikings, matter of fact, the Packers beat him. When Kirk Cousins went down with a torn Achilles, he was the starting quarterback for the Vikings. He's a backup quarterback. And after the game, he happened to say hi to LaFleur because they knew each other from the Rams. And he said, hey, sometime I'm thinking about getting into coaching. He goes, all right, well, keep me posted. So it was during the NFC Championship game a couple of weeks ago, and LaFleur said, I wasn't really paying attention to it. He says, and this guy called me and said, hey, I've got an interview with the Bears. Here's what my resume and presentation looks like. Tell me what you think. Okay, sure. And so then he said, hey, that looks great, Sean. As a matter of fact, why don't you bring that up to Green Bay? Oh, you're serious? Yeah. So I think he had his interview with the Bears, and then he came to Green Bay, and LaFleur hired him. So LaFleur was more than delighted to tell that story, like he had stolen this guy that the Bears were interested in and added him as an assistant offensive coach.
Yeah, we have about a minute left here. We got the Bucks having a little bit of problems these days. They take on the Timberwolves tonight at 6:30 on WRJN in Minnesota.
Well, they fired Adrian Griffin, first-time head coach of the Bucks. They have just 43 games in the season. They were in second place in the Eastern Conference behind the Celtics. And since Doc Rivers, the veteran coach, has come in, they're 3-7, and they look in disarray. They're not scoring as much. They're trying to work on defense, but something's not right. And it looks like maybe the players were in disagreement why Griffin got shown the door early. So they're trying to get out of this funk. Tonight they play a very tough team. The Minnesota Timberwolves right now are the number 1 team over in the Western Conference. So that tips off late tonight at 9 o'clock. So we'll see if the Bucks can turn it around after the All-Star break.
All right. Mike Clemens, catch you next Friday once again. Thanks for watching all the sports for us and keeping an eye on everything sports on WRJN Radio. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Don.
Bye-bye now. All right, 7:58 at WRJN. I want you to have a great weekend. We've got a full schedule of guests coming in next week. On Monday, we're going to have Sergeant Wilcox is going to be here. Christy Wilcox from the Racine Police Department. They got a program for you. And Beth Hydorn is going to be here as well. I think that's Monday. Sergeant Wilcox is going to be here. I got to check my schedule again. But anyway, so keep it right here. Plus, we got tickets to give away next week to Casting Crowns coming to the State Fair. You can win some tickets. And also to the Racine Theater Guild next week as well. All happening right here. WRJN, Hometown Radio Refreshed. I'm Don Rosen. Have a great weekend.